Good evening. Welcome to Wizards Outlook, joined by Raymond Lyons, Cardell Dudley Jr., Wilson Tarpe Jr., and again, Washington Wizards, another home game. They beat the Magic 112-106. Not exactly the biggest margin of victory, but what is important here is that they did get another win as they try to climb their way back up the very congested Eastern Conference standings. Got a quick word from our folks over at Losing Odds before we get started. Um, Try our beef short ribs, slow braised, fall off the bone tender. Dinner with two sides is $21.95. A la carte, it's $17.95. Get over to oozandodds.com to see the menu for hours and more. Again, stop in and order from the Georgia Avenue location today. All right, Ray, you were in the building as everybody can see. You're up first in terms of sharing some insight on tonight's win.
Yeah, man, it was a solid all around game. They checked off a lot of boxes and they did the things that we continuously say will lead to wins. They started the game off strong, uh, played a little bit of defense. They moved the ball and they took care of the basketball. I mean, pretty much if you do those things, you're going to be in a good position. We talk about all the time about getting good in rhythm shots, and that's what they did. I mean, they moved the ball excellently tonight. They started off making their first 7 shots, and of those 7 shots, 5 were assisted. So I mean that those results just speak for themselves. When the offense is flowing and the ball is not sticking and people aren't going 1-on-1, you're going to create good offense like that. They started off strong defensively. Had a little bit of trouble rebounding the ball, but still solid effort on that end overall. So man, just the quick start, it just kind of gives you a cushion because every game is going to be a run, and you just got to be able to withstand it. The last time Terrence Ross decided to act a fool, the game was a little closer, and it was a little harder to come back. This time, they were in the lead, and he started to heat up a little bit, but it wasn't as impactful. So this it, like we always say, man, it's their success is totally up to them. If they do the things that we know they're capable of, then they're going to get these type of results. It was definitely good to see Thomas Bryant back out there. Slowly but surely, this team is becoming whole, and they're getting help where they need it most. They need front court depth, and they're getting it with Rui and TB coming back. So, so yeah, that's definitely going to be a plus. It's not going to be as damaging the games when Gaff is in foul trouble, and especially recently before the last couple games when Trez was out in health and safety protocols. So that's good to see them get some relief in that area. Um, Kuzma, man, he's really coming into his own. He's playing with freedom and confidence, and his body language is great. You could just see that he's ready to take a step in his career. And he said when he came here, he wanted to show what he can do, and he's showing it. He's establishing himself, and that's great to see from a young player. Um, you know, he's the next guy behind Bill. And seeing him what he's able to do in games like this when Bill's not here, he's still able to take over, be aggressive. I mean, he was one assist away from a triple double tonight. That's just all around great performance from him. And yeah, man, it's becoming a normal thing. So yeah, things are looking up. I mean, I know the Orlando isn't the strongest opponent, but nevertheless, we just saw them struggle with this team not too long ago, and then they just came back tonight with a wire-to-wire victory. So yeah, there's some growth. Things are progressing slowly but surely. I just still excited to see what this team will look like when you know they get all their depth, and then the guys that they're getting back are got the game legs back under them. I think that's really going to be interesting to see what they're capable of at full strength. But yeah, man, as always, glad to get one in the W column, and everyone is important at this point. They back on the right side of 500, but they got to keep this thing going. 2-0 on the current 8-game homestand, but the heavy hitters are coming. So yeah, they just got to buckle down and be prepared.
All right, Cardell.
Yeah, I just think that the Wizards' depth just overwhelm the Magic at times. I know the Magic fought, which is what they do. I know their record isn't the best, but if you go throughout the season and look at the wins and losses, all the losses have been close losses. They're just a young team that don't know how to win yet. But as you can see, they fight. They're annoying. They don't really go away. Because after once the Wizards came out and really just knocked them the hell out in the first round, in the first quarter, but they bounced back and fought and fought and made it a game late. And that's pretty much a testament to how tough they are. And I think that's what they're trying to build and hang their hat on with these young players. You know what I mean, with a couple of vets and whatnot. So they on the right track, man. They in a lot of games. So the record definitely doesn't show the whole story, so to speak. But the Wizards, I just think they're just, this is what we kind of were waiting for from day one, just to see what the depth would look like. I know Bill isn't there, but overall, what would it look like when everybody's there for the most part? And we got a glimpse of it. And Wes Unseld utilized it. I mean, he went 11 deep in the bench. You know what I'm saying? He put multiple lineups. Like you could tell he's still trying to play with things just to see what fits in this situation, what fits in that situation. If they go small, what can I do here? If they go big, what can I do here? It's a lot of things, but that's a great problem to have because we've seen the Wizards the last couple years, and it's just like Bill and Russ and Rui and Rush. Just pray. You know what I'm saying? Somebody show up, bring the game. So, but I think that's what it was, man. Because even when Orlando, they kind of get an adjustment with one lineup. Here come West Sunset with a couple subs, and it's a totally different lineup. Now they got adjusted to that. Meanwhile, the Wizards are just clicking. And I love that their defensive energy was pretty consistent tonight. Even when the Magic made a run, they still stay with it. They contested. They made tough shots. One thing that made me smile was Danny was guarding Terrence Ross in the fourth, and Bertans kind of hedged over, let him know he was there, but he was in between his man and Ross. So Ross dribbled and shot a pull up, and then Denny contested, but Bertans slid over to contest also. Ross made a tough shot, but that made it tougher. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, so y'all are starting to get it. You know what I'm saying? Because not, and you know what I'm saying? Y'all that's what's required. You know what I'm saying? Because early in the game, Terrence Ross got in the lane. He crossed over Montrez reach, so he got the step on him, and then he was behind him, but then he pulled up because he saw Bertans kind of slide in the lane to contest. I'm like, nah, dog, come from behind and contest because he's gonna feel both of y'all, and he's so focused on feeling both of y'all, he misses the shot. It's little details like that where they have to make more consistent so their defense is consistently on point, especially during the games where their offense isn't there. That's what's gonna help them win games and stuff like that, man. But all in all, I love what I'm saying, man. I can't wait to see when Bill get back where everybody's clicking. Like, I really want to see that lineup. You know what I'm saying? You see Thomas, that's what we talking about, that energy, man. He throwing no looks, hitting threes, dunking, and all look, man, he look good. You know what I'm saying? So his thing is just getting his legs on him and all that. And that's gonna be that inside play is gonna be key. With him and Trez and Gaff. It's not gonna be sweet down there now. Because now, like, if one big ain't playing well or tired or whatnot, but Sunsil he got some depth. That's what I mean. So he pretty much got pieces for whatever lineup opponents throw at him. And I'm anxious to see how it looks moving forward. But yeah, Ray, I'm with you, Kuz, man. Kuz just established himself as the number two. You gotta feature him like that behind Bill. I'm dead with him. I mean, look, we've been on him hard. For especially throughout these summer, he was struggling bad. But man, last couple games, man, he's starting to get his groove. He's starting to figure out where he fits in this team, how he can get his and still making sure everybody get theirs. And I don't think that people understand how big he is. He's 6'6", man. You know what I'm saying? Him and KCP, they're 6'6". You know what I'm saying? I know Bill about 6'4", whatnot, but they got big guards, man. You know what I'm saying? So they could do a lot of things, versatile, man. So that's what I mean by Wes Unseld, man. He got a lot of toys to play with. He can go real big. He can go big and have all them dudes. Denny, have somebody cool at the two, Trez, Gaff, and Thomas out there just playing games. You know what I'm saying? Just playing out there. Depending on the lineup, just to throw it out there just to see. And I'm anxious to see him do that, man. Ball and all, the game has to be played. Get the W. Like you said, the heavy hitters coming in. You don't want to be limping in there like, man, dropped all these games, man. You want to be on a win streak, riding high, confident. So you can try to take them out too and move up in the standings before All-Star break.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. what I thoroughly enjoyed, obviously, is TB, that injection of energy that he always brings. It's another thing where you're inserting more guys whose motors already run hot on the defensive end of the floor. So it's almost you almost stick out even more when you're on the floor when you throw TB on the floor with a group. You throw Rui out there on the floor with a group because for a while it was KCP's motor runs hot on that end, and then Gaff, and then sometimes when guys are out of the game, we're left wondering and waiting until they come back into the game. And it was great having, like you said, Cardell and Ray. Soon as both of those guys get more comfortable, coach has a whole lot of options to use. So many different tools to use for, it depends on the opponent. And, quarter by quarter with adjustment. You can do so many different things. But there was obviously an edge that came back with those guys being out there, even in those short little bursts. And it keeps the guys who've been here this entire time, it keeps them on notice too. Your minutes can be snatched.
Yes.
Just a nice reminder. Yeah, I know. What is it? TB and Rui both 12 minutes a night. We're maybe a week away from 12 minutes turning into 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna happen fast. So, Treasury had 21 minutes a night. Gaff at 16. You guys get off the slow starts or aren't, don't hit the ground running. Oh man, this ain't the first 15, 20 games of the year when you can play through it. Nah, come sit here next to me. Clearly you don't, I don't know what's going on tonight. But I know he's about to go out there. And, so like you guys said, what's important is sack up the wins as quickly as you can. Doesn't matter what they look like. It's about getting as much as you can to try to get right because there's still an opportunity. We've been talking so much about how congested the standings are. It works both ways. If you slide, it's going to hurt. You put a couple games together, you got an 8-game, I think, Ray, you said an 8-game homestand. You take care of business, you come out on the other side of that in pretty good shape. So, all right, if you guys have anything else to add, I'm going to get to player of the game as always. I believe I'm going to let y'all say it. I mean, 1, 2, 3, Kyle Kuzma? Okay. I feel so bad every time I get to that part. Because Kuz has been in a place where he's making it clearly obvious. Like you guys mentioned, especially with Brad being out. And he sees that there was an opportunity for a couple players to seize that second fiddle, and he took it. So
it's called being consistent. We really thought it was gonna be Dinwiddie, but he was coming off the injury. He got to a slow start, but fine. He's found his niche, and he ain't tripping. He's comfortable setting up the table. But Kuz, you gotta give him credit, man. He's playing within himself. And that was the thing I was worried about because in LA we would see him have moments like what he's been on, but then you see him out there, thinking he's 6'10" Steph Curry sometimes, and it's just like, get back within yourself. You talented, and when he plays within himself, you see the results.
Yeah. Again, another great night being efficient from the floor. All right, X factors. Ray, we'll start with you, and then Cardell. I took the easy way out, so I'm gonna answer last. I took the super easy way out, but go ahead.
Shoot, I might be right behind you. I mean, it was contributions up and down. Everybody but one person on the Wizards scored, and I mean, it's like you look at Dinwiddie. I mean, hit the game he had. Then KCP 12 and 10. Then Trez and Neto bench mob. I mean, everybody except Kuz was the X factor. I mean, like this was a good team win, man. Like everybody did their job. Yeah, like it's good when this conversation is tough because that means it was a total effort, man. And when they play that way, they hard to beat. I mean, the evidence is there. Like when they started hot, we was getting these type of games regularly, and then they've been sprinkled in throughout since then. So yeah, man, I'm a cop out too, Wilson.
Man, I was going to keep it as the easy way out. You ain't got to say cop out, but thanks for that. And look at you inadvertently firing shots about everyone not scoring. Inadvertently. No one even tried to. Go ahead, Cardell.
He felt Thomas Bryant back. You know what it is, though.
Oh, you mean it's somebody else that's 6'10" and can shoot and do all the other stuff? That's crazy.
It's real out there. I'm gonna say West Sunset.
Okay.
That's that. You know why? Because he subbed there. He threw bodies out there and just sending a message. If you don't hoop, hey, look, he like, I'm gonna be here a while. You know what I'm saying? I just got the job, got on contract. Some of y'all may not, so y'all can play games if y'all want. But yeah, if I were y'all, when I call your name, practice, showing up to practice early, staying late, all that. I'm looking at all that. I ain't about to say nothing. Y'all know what it is now because everybody back now. So it's up to y'all. You gonna dictate the minutes, man. And in all seriousness, I just like the fact that he's not afraid to play 11 guys. You know, some coaches just be stuck in their ways. I'm gonna stick with my 4-7, and then you risk losing the rest of the team. He's giving everybody a fair opportunity to prove their worth. Because obviously, as they get closer, they got the talent. So I'm gonna say playoff team. If they don't make the playoffs, it better be some serious injuries up and down this roster. Because if they healthy and they don't make the playoffs, that's bad. But I'm saying, because as they get to playoff time, it's gonna get more real. You know what I'm saying? Like I got to roll with the guys I know gonna get the job done. Because this series could be over real quick if I don't. Like, I ain't got time for feelings. So he's being fair right now, and I respect that, man. Because some coaches would just be like, man, like my top 6, my top 7, maybe top 8. Yeah, I'm rolling with them, man. So he got all job, man, because he got to please everybody. But the thing I like about him is I could tell he ain't really tripping on pleasing people. Like, please me. I'm the coach. Like, you know what I'm saying? Please me. Produce. And I'll handle the rest.
I'm not mad at that at all. I went right. I just went with just the overall depth as a whole. I think we're all in the same ballpark with that. It's refreshing after seeing what we've seen for most of this 40+ games, that the bodies, the names that we've been mentioning, look forward to them returning. It's not looking forward to. Now it's just them getting right, getting up to speed now. Like if that point is already here now. We're not just talking about it, wishing for it, waiting for it. Like you said, 11 bodies tonight, and everybody at least got double-digit minutes. Like people had opportunities, and I'm just here to watch the chaos with the minutes in the front court and on the wing, see how they shift and change as we go forward. We had a couple comments from the Black Line. Appreciate you tuning in and commenting. Obviously, Killer Cools. And then there's been a Dinwiddie sighting.
He been balling, man. Yeah. That's group, man. I really think a little bit of that was because of the ACL, man. I think you can see he got a little bit more pop now. His leg, it gets to that point on his own. You can't rush it. It's a muscle, though. It is what it is. So, and then ligament or whatever. So I think he's starting to get more pop, get more confident, and he's starting to understand his role in all of this. He's a smart player, skilled player, so I believe on the attitude. It's just about him being consistent. And the thing he has always done that I love, he do not turn the ball over at all. He ain't had no turnovers at all today. Hey, there you go. I love that. And the point guard,
32 minutes. 32 minutes. I didn't know it was possible after coming out of last season. I was told that everybody turns it over at least 4 or 5 times. That's 32 minutes with not one turnover. Yeah, I know he didn't have 11 assists. I think the thing I liked the most about him was, we've been talking about Kuz stepping into that second role. That doesn't impact Dinwiddie as a whole. He knows how to get in where he fit in comfortably and still contribute. He's not, like those types of guys you can't put a price on that. It's one thing when people talk, like people say they're that type of player. It's another thing when they actually are. Like that's the thing where some nights he'll be able to answer the bell if you need it. And the fact that he can is a wonderful thing. Like you say, Cardell, a great reminder, obviously his legs feeling better, is how big he is. There was a couple times a night with the lineups they had out there, man, everybody had an opportunity to have somebody smaller on him in the post at times. So,
and that's the thing, the Wizards, I want the Wizards to still work at it. Feed your bigs in the post. Like it was like somebody had Cole Anthony. It might have been Thomas. They had Cole Anthony in the post, and they passed it to Trez, and he attacked Robert Lopez. Now he got to the line, but still, it's like, dog, Thomas Bryant's going to eat. or eating the post with with a point guard on him. Like he's too high molding. He gonna bang. It's no hope for that point guard. It just is what it is, man. That's just having to be more aware and everything. And look, Denny was the one that passed it. There you go, Denny
Mhm.
passed it. So it wasn't Dinwiddie, my fault. But look, man, it's something to be said about just veteran presence and that poise, man. That's Dinwiddie just poised, dog. Like you can just tell, like if you look up and he's the point guard, and he's chilling, it's gonna make you relax. Especially when teams going on runs and stuff like that. So you just gotta keep going, man. Just keep building, taking one game at a time, man. Definitely knock off these games that they're supposed to win. And against the top teams, everybody bring their A game back. That's just how that gotta go.
For sure. Ray, you got anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
No, sir.
I want to thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see you guys a couple more times over the next, 5-6 stretch of days, a week or whatnot. Like Ray said, in the midst of 8-game homestand, we're at the beginning. We'll see you guys Saturday night. We'll see you again on Monday afternoon. So y'all have a great one, and until Saturday.